Hey guys, it's Mark from parkflyers.com. Today we're taking another look at the Max Slash. We decided to do it because Traxxas has a rebate on the car. The car went from $700 to $550. We think it's a good time to take advantage of a great car, a car that got a lot of bad press when it was first released. Essentially, the YouTube content creators killed this car single-handedly. If they didn't make any of those videos or comments or negative reviews, this car would be selling like any other Traxxas product. But they really killed it off. I have to tell you, I know the market. I talk to people in the business, and I know my own business. And basically, the YouTube videos killed this thing. I didn't think that it was justified. I think a lot of it was just sensationalism. A lot of YouTubers create content that gets a lot of clicks. They do it for attention. They give in to the crowd, the hate crowd, and they do get a lot of subscribers when they put a lot of criticism and hate into a product. I don't do that. I don't believe in it. But I thought this drove like a short course truck. Everybody was upset that it didn't drive like a 4S Mojave. The 4S Mojave is a great car. It is definitely not as durable as this. If anybody tells you different, they're lying to you. This car is not even close in durability to this car. There is no comparison. The universals on this, the one they're connected to the inside of the output drives on the center on the differentials front and rear, they're attached with a grub screw. A lot of times those shear off from hard running. We had motor and speed control problems in these cars, recalls in the beginning, overheating. We had motors blowing out, different weird things happening. It's all sorted out now, but the car was definitely not perfect. It just didn't get the hate that the Max Slash got, because for some reason Traxxas gets a lot of hate. I don't know why, but it just does. Anyway, I think it's just more or less YouTube content creators are looking for problems. Like they'll post a video on a new car and the title will be "I broke apart." Like there's some kind of genius or something, or they just want to make you click on it. So they put like a title, like a negative title on this thing for this car, and they make you click on it, and then they rant about how you shouldn't buy it. Anyway, they kill the sales. Very big shame because it's a great driving car. Anyway, back to the Mojave. So a lot of people compared it to this car, and they said it's not a Mojave. So what I think a Mojave is, it's not really even a true short course truck. What you're looking at here is, in my opinion, this is like a rally chassis. It's very low CG. This does not drive like a real short course truck. Very low to the ground. It's very stable and it jumps great. Like I said, it's definitely not as durable. It has a lot of problems in it, but it's very well priced, and it got a lot of good reviews on YouTube. So if you want one, we do sell them. You can pick one up from us or somebody else. It doesn't matter. But like I said, this is the car that everybody compared it to, which was the wrong thing, because that is not a true short course truck. It doesn't drive like one, where this does. This is a mid CG chassis. It's not low, it's not high, it's somewhere in the mid. And people just didn't understand it. They basically thought it rolled over too easily, and they didn't like the way it jumped. They didn't like the way that the geometry of the suspension was. So what we did is we're making a video to show you how to tune it. We're going to make this car so it's going to be a little bit more like a Mojave. The way that we set this up is it's not going to roll. It's just not going to roll over. And it's going to jump better. It's going to land better. It does everything better and more like a standard car, like closer to a rally type of style drive. And we think that might appeal to more people. I would love to send one of these cars to Razor RC for him to test and jump. I have mine here. This is my Max Slash, my personal one. I've been working on this for a few months. This happens to be a 4S car. I lightened up the cover by removing a lot of the bracing inside. That was about £1. That and the wheelie bar removal are about £1. Very interesting car. I also made a very, very complex sway bar system that's built on, it's a multi-link system. It has a 70% return rate on the side. Usually cars have 20 to 30% return rate. This is 70%, so it really goes through the turns beautifully. This is a one-off type of prototype. I don't make this for people. It's just a little bit too involved and complex. But again, we're going to do a review on this car. We're going to show how this one performs. But this is something that I've done for the masses. This is retaining the 6S motor and most of the standard components, but we're going to go through what we did to it. So let's start with one of the most important upgrades that we did. and that is we put on the Traxxas sway bar kit, front and rear. So that's going to make the car a lot more stable. We think that it should have came with the car. Uh, Traxxas does not include sway bar kits on a lot of their cars, actually all their cars, and we think it's a mistake. Other manufacturers are giving them away. We think it's an integral part of the handling, especially on a car that's a mid-CG chassis. And this car did have a little bit of roll issues. Even though it's a short course truck, it's supposed to have the tendency to roll over to be realistic and scale. But people, for some reason, they didn't like it on this car. And not having sway bars made the problem just more pronounced. So now we put front and rear Traxxas sway bars, which really did very well for the car. It makes it a lot more stable. The car doesn't have a tendency to roll over as much. And basically, we think it's a great addition to the car. The second thing we did, which was very important, is we widened the rear track. So we basically put wheel spacers that were 10 millimeters wider on each side of the rear of the car, and the car is now extremely planted. Together with doing that, we put upper camber links in the car from Hot Racing, and that definitely made the car like bulletproof. You can go through the very, very high speed turns with this car, not letting off the throttle. The car's not going to roll. It's going to be a lot more like I said, a rally car. It's going to appeal to a lot more people because it's going to be easier to drive. And also the last thing that we did was we changed the springs front and rear. Now the stock car came with shorter type of springs, especially in the front. It was a big problem because the front, you'd push down on it and it would easily hit the ground. Now you see that the car has a lot more pushback on the spring, and is definitely going to land much better off a very high jump. It's going to handle terrain with a lot more consistency. We think it works a lot better. It's a dramatic improvement. We put them on the front and rear, and they work both. It works really good for the car. We took off extenders that they had, I guess to add a little droop. We took those off because we made the springs longer, and it basically, this setup is what I consider really one of the best setups for the Max Slash. It is a dramatic improvement in the way it drives. We're going to put links to all the parts below that we spoke of, and it is a dramatic change to the car. It's going to do everything better. We think you're going to love it. Want to take advantage of the sale? We have the sale till December 3rd, and we have a few Max Slashes left. If you want it, we can set one up for you like this. It's not a problem. It's going to drive a lot better. Not as good as this one, but it's going to drive 10 times better than the stock one, and we think it's going to appeal to a lot more people. Again, we'd love to send this car to Razor RC for him to do a video and test it. We value his opinion, and we think he would love this little special car we put together. But again, we think this is one of the most overlooked cars for 2024. It got a bad rap early on. We just think if we configure it a little differently, it's going to appeal to a lot more people. And I think, by the way, I've sold a lot of these combinations to a lot of customers of mine. The feedback is great. Everybody's telling me that it's a massive improvement over a stock Max Slash. So the feedback is really good. Again, I want to vote below if you guys would agree that Traxxas should re-release this car with a lot of the things I just said, also with a 4S motor system so they could lower the price to the same price as a Max. We think it's more in line with what people could really afford. So what do you think? Should we keep it 6S, or should we go back to 4S and lower the price? I think mine runs great on 4S. I love mine on 4S. It's a lighter car. I love the way it jumps. I love the way it lands. It handles. You could feel it as it's going through everything. It's just much lighter. It feels like an ultimate Slash, but on steroids. It's really good. I wish you guys could actually. I just wish I could send this out for people to test to see how good this is. But these cars are running great, and we think the customer for this one, we think he's going to be really happy with it. We hope he enjoys it. If anybody, like I said, wants one, just reach out to Mark at parkflyers.com, or you can call the 800 number, 1-800-470-8932. Ask for Mark, and we'll set you up with one of these. Anyway, thank you so much. We will see you on the next Review and Tune. Have a good one, and take care.